If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of Alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go into Village, Facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed.
And a child shall lead them.
All right, dear listener, I am Vincent.
And I am Soraya. But I go by Sori. Don't call me Soraya. Jenny can do that.
We are, and her mom, we are about to watch, here's the thing we're going to do, okay? So we're going to listen to 2 bands. One is the original, one is the cover. Then we're going to compare what we hear sonically. Then we're going to do the lyrics. And then we're going to decide which one we like and which one's better, okay? All right. Having said that, dear listener, the time has arrived. The name of this band is Dawn, and the name of the song,
The
Dawn
Knell
and Song Rhymes.
of the World.
The Knell and the World, dear listener.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know that you guys always see the lyrics at the beginning. We will put the lyrics kind of in the end, maybe, or maybe on the second song. The point is to listen to how these affect us sonically right now, okay?
How they affect us.
So, how they affect us. Okay, guys,
Mm-hmm.
here we go.
Okay, wait. For the covers poll, we submitted both the original, you haven't done it before, and the cover. This version by Dawn is the original. At this point in their career, they were considered melodic black metal or melodic death metal. This is the first song off the album Slaughter Son, Crown of the
Slaughter
Triarchy.
Son.
Released in 1998.
Crown of the Triarchy. Mm-hmm. I like what these people do with words.
I like it.
And this was Kellendross. Was this Kellendross's pick?
I don't know if it was Kellendross's pick or if Kellendross is the one that put this in there for us to get the goods. Well, Kellendross is the leader, so.
Kellendross is probably, I've talked to Kellendross at length once upon a time. He's probably one of the most unique individuals you're going to meet.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like, I wish Kellendross would like have a channel and like promote it a lot. He just has these really, they're not like weird. They're just like a little bit like, huh? And then
he said, no, actually, my pick was Death, Painkiller.
Paint Killer?
I thought he said Painkiller.
Oh, Painkiller. Okay. All right, guys, here we go.
Okay, let's go.
Dawn, the Knell, and the World.
The World.
Let's go.
Okay.
Bro.
That drummer was pretty ridiculous.
Bro. Bro. That drummer, man.
He was pretty ridiculous.
Everybody knows I love the tremolo shit.
This is the first time I've ever thought that a drummer made me feel like there was rising action in his drumming.
Yeah.
It like kind of.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. That's the first time.
The drums were absolutely insane in this song.
Yeah, I would agree, 1000%.
I mean, unbelievably, absolutely insane. And this guy, it's a human drummer, because that was one of the.
It's a
I
human.
wonder if it's gonna be one of the things, you know what I'm saying, where the guy is like drumming, but he's not really drumming. No.
Yeah.
Dude was really, 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 really drumming, and you know we got to get to the next thingamajiggy.
This is so fun doing it this way. Okay, so the next one we're gonna do is a cover for the same song. The band that does it is the name of their band is Woe. So this is the cover of Dawn's "The Knell in the World." Woe is a black metal band from the USA. Okay. This cover was released on their 2019 EP of Violent Dread. So wait a minute. This one's from the USA, and the other one was from where?
I just want to know how the hell people are gonna
You guys, Dawn is stationed where? I want to know. This is USA versus who? This is USA versus who?
Just put Dawn Black Metal Band in Google.
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do.
I want to see what this next band, if this next band, if the drummer can keep up. Dawn are Swedish, and that's coming from Perkinos, so you can book it. You can book it. All right, guys, here we go.
Yes, they are a Swedish band.
Here we go.
So this is Sweden versus the USA.
Here we go.
USA! Oh, wait, we got to listen to the song first. Go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
You're funny. All right, guys, here we go. Here's the cover! I can play this part.
It does sound like something like. Oh man. Okay.
Damn.
So right off the bat, when it first started, I was like, eh. And then it kept just getting better and better and better. And then his vocal style changed, and it got that desperate sound to it, which I love.
Wait, what are you talking about? Both of them, or
I'm talking about this second song.
This second one.
The second one
Okay,
specifically.
the vocal style.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Well, I didn't like the vocal style at first, but like I said, but then it got to a point where it was like
Yeah.
desperate
Yeah.
sounding.
That
in there.
middle.
Got a little ridiculous.
Okay, so first of all, we just listened to 18 minutes pretty much of the same song.
Yep.
Did it feel like 18 minutes to you?
No, it didn't.
We just listened to a band a couple days ago. It was 12 minutes, and it felt like what was that band? I think I put it out of my. It was your band, Opeth.
Oh,
It was the Blackwater Park song. Allahu Akbar. That song. It was only 12 minutes, but how long did it feel to you?
it felt 15 minutes.
Shout out to Opeth. They're great musicians, but
15
subhanallah.
15 minutes.
All right, what felt longer, listening to the Blackwater Park or this song back to back?
Blackwater Park all day long. It was, yeah.
Shout out to Opeth, but holy shit.
I still think Harlequin Forest was good, and it needed to be the length that it was.
2 minutes long. 2 minutes too long.
All right.
So here's what I'm gonna say. I came into the second song. I came into the cover song. Yeah, the guitar was decent. I mean, they're great musicians. It was great musicians. Opeth was R. I mean that. I said it in the review, but holy shit! I just felt all 12 of those minutes. SubhanAllah. So I'm gonna tell you guys, I was absolutely biased coming into the cover because that drummer,
Right on the original was just
the drummer on the first song.
Yep.
He
had our attention, that's for sure.
I literally had an emotional connection. And you know what? You know what I'm starting to discover? I love passionate people and people who push themselves. You know, like if we go to the sauna, it's got to be, I did 53 minutes in 250 degree, whatever. Like it's got to be, I love people. That's why I love Brady. Come back, Tom. Come back. The game needs you. Don't worry about your family.
Wow.
They'll always be there. Take them for granted. What about us? What about me?
Oh, you're giving him advice you wouldn't take for yourself.
I just shout out to Zombie Holic, one of our people. Okay. So anyway, that drummer really converted me because I do not think I've heard drumming like that in a very long time.
Yeah, I don't usually notice the drumming. I love the drumming, and I have a hard time following music that doesn't have drums involved.
Right.
But I heard that drummer, and I heard him throughout the whole thing, and I was like, wow, this is really good. I like this. So that speaks as well.
Yeah. So I was so attached to that guy emotionally because I felt like I don't think I've ever seen anybody
Yeah.
put out. And I'm gonna, after this is over, I'm gonna YouTube this and be like, yo, I want to see him do this shit live.
Yep.
I want to see him do that shit live. But I don't think I've ever seen anybody put out like that on drums in my life. So I was very biased toward the first band because, I just love the drummer. The second band came on, so I was already against them. I was like, these guys. And I was like, I want to hear this drummer. And I think Kel is right. They didn't emphasize the drums as much, but the vocal style was the most noticeable difference to me. What was the most noticeable difference to you?
Yeah, the vocal style is what I picked up on right away. The vocal style was different. And I thought that the second song, you could understand it more clearly.
Right.
Like, I didn't look at the lyrics, and I could pick up on some of the lyrics. Where the previous song, like, I think Amy Lee Forever was basically like, this kind of stuff. You could say anything you wanted, and nobody would even know. But where the second one you could hear is a little bit more legible.
Amy can't stand with it. The Cookie Monster stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep going.
So there was that. I noticed the drumming in the first one was just incredible. The thing, like, I felt like that the first song just was like stayed steadily good the whole time. Not like, you guys know me, I'm not like a black metal person, but it's still like
Racist.
Yeah, I'm very racist. It still like had like, it stayed the same through the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like you were like, it's a shit song at the beginning and it got better. It wasn't like it was a great song at the beginning and it got worse. It was just steady. This one, however, from my opinion, it started out, I was like, fuck this song. I like the one before. Even though this one was from the USA. When I originally started, I was like, USA! And then it started and I was like, never mind. I liked the other one better. And then as the song progressed, though, probably like, how long was the song in total?
It was 9 minutes and a second long.
Okay, so probably like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that in. Like, the song was like steadily increasing. Probably around the part where his vocal style changed and it got like real desperate sounding.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, and then it just kept like increasing for me. I was like,
once
okay.
it got to the middle, I was like, ugh. I was like, there's a lot. The only criticism I'll have for the second band, which might hurt the scoring for this band, is that if you look at the first two songs, if you look at the first two songs that we reviewed, they're so different. It's the same song, but it was so, like, that band
we got
really,
the two different types.
really put the stamp on it. Really put the stamp on it. Whereas this one
seemed like they were competing for almost the same thing.
But I just think that the drummer was so crazy that it's like, it's almost like a challenge to yourself. Like, can we do this? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can we do this? But there wasn't a lot of variation, I don't think, from the original in the cover, which you know, kinda. It'll kind of hurt. It'll kind of hurt the score a little bit.
You said not a lot of variation?
Yeah, there was almost the
but
major
remember we talked about
the
there's two different types of like covers. One is where you take the song and you friggin' do your own thing, and the other one is where you stick to the script and you try to be better. So it's interesting that the two types that we talked about are, you know, displayed in this very stream.
Yeah. I will say that I like this vocal style a lot better than the first vocal style.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there wasn't a lot of material difference until he got to the desperate sounding, and then I was like, this is clearly better.
I noticed it. I noticed it
sounded differently, but I didn't feel better about one or the other, is what I'm saying. Where immediately when you heard it, you were like, I like this better.
Yeah, it was immediate. Yeah, I immediately liked it better because it was more.
Did you see the
solid, more masculine? The other one was a little bit more ethereal and a little bit more like Banshee-like, which is okay in segments. But I like the raw, like meat. But of course, it's an American band. It's more meat and potatoes. So I like that. But there really wasn't much aside from that. And, you know, Cal talked about production. I think the Swedish band, the first band, I think Dawn is the name of the band.
Thanks, Zombie-holic.
Glad you guys are streaming. I need company. Horrible day. Felt like throwing myself.
Oh, jeez.
Holy shit. Damn, Zombie-holic.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm really working on my sleep to try to and it's helping. Like I'm a lot less intolerable to my family.
You're like another person.
So if sleep is a chronic issue, you really I encourage you to go get that checked out.
I don't know how somebody can go through extended periods of not proper sleep and it not like affect them as a person.
Yeah, I mean, in other situations, you know, being cranky, but being able to function.
Yeah. Well, you were still functioning though.
I was a high functioning lack of sleep person, but
Yeah.
In certain organizations that you know, that's okay.
Yeah.
They'll celebrate you for it, but your family and just in general and your friends like us, it's a lot better if you get some naps in between. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
Zombie, I encourage you to go see a doctor, especially if you're having those, you know, thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure.
I'm seeing my doctor, and I encourage all of you to see your doctor.
Yep.
Especially
he fought
in this
tooth and nail, but now he's going.
Yeah, I fought a tooth and nail, but you know, really at the end of the day, it's I'm like, you know what? Holy shit. And plus, guys, with this environment and COVID and all the shit that's happening, all the stress everybody's under, we all
give
could
yourself
probably
a friggin' break.
do well to go see a doctor anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is that was a bonus. Back to your regular scheduled program.
Okay,
I do want to touch on some of the lyrics.
Yeah, let's
we
go to the
will
lyrics.
vote on the song.
We will,
I mean,
just
which
be
one is best?
Be patient.
What's my diagnosis or diagnonsense? I think she meant diagnosis. I will. I'll text you. I'll text you after Amy.
The Dawn. Where's that other one?
Yeah, it's called Woe is the other one.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay. Trust the black inside and suffocate the light in me. That's a pretty crazy line.
Whoa, what did it say?
You are so pretty. God almighty. That blue
It's that
light
blue
on
light,
you and
babe.
everything over there. I was like, oh my
It's the
gosh.
blue light.
That woman is beautiful. That's my wife. Ah! Oh my God. Oh my God. And you're smart. And you're a very good business partner. Yeah. All right. There's nothing to do with this song, but holy shit.
Everybody
I
needs
love
to
you
have
so
a
much,
husband
bro.
that will celebrate them.
Okay.
Okay.
Trust the black inside and suffocate the light in me. That's a freaking.
Damn.
That's really good.
I
mean,
know.
terrible,
That was
but
like such a terrifying line when I heard it. I was like, what?
I'm a very big believer on the opening line, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big believer in the first song on the record, the first song on a live show, and the first line in a song. Like those three, like that.
First.
You gotta knock those out of the park. And that line right there, trust the black inside and suffocate the light in me. That is crazy.
It is a
Throw
pretty
the
ridiculous
stones
line.
to kill the truth. Deception must be absolute. Especially as a you know, coming from a hip hop background.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy music to me is heavier when it rhymes, actually.
Oh, I agree.
There's just something
And I don't
to
have a
me
hip-hop
when I see when I see heavy music and it's got rhyming words, like that's like how did you interpret that? Trust the black inside and suffocate the light in me.
Well, I just took it as like that, the darkness that kind of like, you know, we talk about the shadow self, stuff like that darkness that's inside all of us. And you kind of, you know, like in cartoons when we were kids, they had like the little demon and the angel on the shoulder that would talk to you. And so trust the black inside was like that darkness, that depression, that everything inside of you that is like that darkness that wants to, like the darkness wants to overtake the light. But you know, some people battle with it. Some people just let the darkness take over. Some people fight it like hell and mostly, you know, give room for the light. But this guy was like, just trust, because I think that, you know, when you're slipping into unhealthy lifestyles mentally and stuff like that, like there is a part of you that says, this is healthy. I should not fight this. You know? So to me, it was that. And suffocate the light in me. Throw the stones that kill the truth. Deception must be absolute. So that's what it was. But I don't know if further on in the song we find out more of what the darkness is. That's what the darkness was when I heard that part.
I remember being in in high school, in a very, very specific situation where I consciously said, I'm going to do evil. but it was one of those things where you had to like completely sell out internally. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was.
Well, wait a minute. You're talking like an event, or are you talking like a lifestyle?
No, it was a situation.
Oh, so it was an event. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy's talking about an event. I think he's talking about a lifestyle, but carry on.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about like, obviously, as a Christian, it's impossible to live a lifestyle of trusting in the darkness within you.
Yeah.
You trust in your sinful nature. But like, that was part of it, is that it's not even things that you're brought up not believing. It's just that everybody knows you're not supposed to do XYZ thing.
I mean, we could even use that example. There was like this video of somebody right before they either stabbed somebody or they shot somebody. I'm not really sure which one it was. But you could tell that they were kind of like, and they couldn't decide what they were going to do. And then all of a sudden, I think they had said, fuck it, or something like that. And as soon as that was, then they went in with all of their, and there's like that moment where you're like, I'm doing it. So.
Yeah, because you have all these inhibitions, but
Yeah.
if you turn certain corners and it's I didn't have a father figure to tell me this, but there's no excuses, because quite frankly, even if I did, it probably wouldn't have changed anything. But it's that you're turning a corner, and that there's certain things you cannot take back. Once you've done, you can't take them back. Mm-hmm. But it was highly emotional time for everybody, and I'm already a very, very emotional person, and
Wow,
so you just say like, okay, okay. And so it's like you had to embrace that ugly part of yourself and suppress parts of yourself that are like, yo, what are you doing? Hey, we're gonna be a different person after. That's very interesting.
That is very.
But and yeah, I mean, I'm a completely different person. But yeah, so that line is just pretty crazy, because like and we also saw it when we listened to Macbeth, where she's like praying to the spirits, unsex me and replace my mother's milk with poison and all this shit. Like that line in Macbeth, where Lady Macbeth she knows this is gonna make us turn a corner.
Yeah,
we're gonna turn a corner here.
But she didn't realize what it was going to be. Like, I felt like, of course, I've never read the play. I've just seen the two reenactments of it. But you could tell that when she said, fill me, and she, like, went through that whole big thing that she did.
Yeah.
And she went on her way, like, she was still judging her husband for not having the strength to really go forward and do this thing.
Yeah, she said he wasn't a man.
Yeah, once he did, and then she had to go back there because he came back with the daggers. When she had to take the daggers back to the location of the death, and she saw the body, it fucked her up. She wasn't right. That's when she started. And then after that, because remember she said she was the one that was washing her hands, saying who knew the man would have so much blood on him, or something like that. Right.
Yeah.
So she would have never seen that if he didn't come back with the daggers, but she had to return the daggers, and then she saw. And then that was like, that started like twisting her, and then she just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So making the decision to do something crazy, I think does change you, but especially when the action takes place, it's like, that's a whole nother level.
Because the problem is, the farther you get from the action, the farther you get from the justification.
Oh,
see, that's the issue. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
When you're in the middle of it, you're like, yeah, whatever. Oh, they deserve it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Blah, blah, blah. But the farther you get from it, all you see is what you did.
Right.
And the justification is gone, because the heat of passion of the moment is not there anymore.
Right.
Well,
maybe that's why he says, throw the stones that kills the truth. Deception must be absolute.
Right. Because you have to deceive yourself to get to that point.
Wow.
You have to completely lie to yourself. And there it is. Let fevers rave and ravage the deluded minds of all. Surrender to atrocity and yield by our fall, stigmata children, malady spawn, downward resolution, the coming of dawn. This motherfucker, he can freaking write his ass off. Holy shit. He can write. This guy can write. But yeah, and I was just talking about like being in the heat of passion, like being in the heat of a moment, and you that's where you like say like, okay, I'm gonna suppress all the light in me. I'm gonna embrace darkness because I'm in this heat of passion or feverish rage, and it deludes your mind. And that's why, Dorian was in a situation. Was it last week? And it was a situation where normally, I jump up and I say, hey, and I get in the middle and something, I'll whatever. But he's grown now and he's graduated to the point where, like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that in that situation. And I told him, I said, bro, you're not going to be able to take that back if you do that. And I just sat where I was, you know what I'm saying? And I, he's, in our relationship, a lot of it is just, it's a discipleship relationship. The father-son thing is definitely there, obviously. But at some point as a parent, you got to kind of take that risk and roll the dice and believe that all that you've taught them is going to be actioned without you always getting up and actually intervening.
Yeah, because you're not going to be there for the rest of their lives. It's like you're not going to leave a flotation device on your kids all the time. You're not going to leave training wheels on their bikes all the time. Eventually, you have to get to a point where you say, all right, it's time to make your decisions, and they have to, if kids don't have the understanding that there are going to be consequences, just natural consequences that come from bad actions, then they could end up doing so much. Like there's so many parents like that don't want to say no to their kids. They don't want to set those things. They don't want to give the kids the opportunity to make the mistakes. And then what ends up happening is all of a sudden it's time for the kids to go out on their own, and they're so used to mommy and daddy bailing them out on everything that now they don't, they're in a lot worse situation because the cops or whatever, somebody's going to end up stopping them. So I think that it's good that the kids are given the opportunity to, on stuff that's not, you have to give them little things at first and let them.
Yeah, there was a lot of trust. That was a grown man move that he made to control himself.
Yeah, and
he did a great job.
And what you told him was for him to look to the future, because we've said it a bunch of times. There are certain actions or thought processes and behaviors and negative things that if held on to and acted upon will end up making your life worse. Bitterness, for instance. If you can't learn to forgive somebody or learn to say, okay, this person, I need to separate myself from this person because they're going to continue doing this or that action and they are not sorry for it at all. But if you, that's the thing. Like you spoke about the future to him in that moment. You only said a few words and you spoke about the future. And that was enough to say, you know what? He chose rather than, what he, rather than doing what he wanted to do in the moment, he did what was best to be a loving person in the future. And that was a big time game time decision. And it was good. He did really good.
Yeah. He did a really good job. A lot to ask of a 16-year-old
that's what I was going to say. Way too much was being asked of him. But he came through.
He did the right thing.
Yep.
But like, yeah, lyrically, this song is absolutely insane because, you can look at it as these are instructions, just go crazy and kill shit. You know what I'm saying? Or you can look at it like, this is a precautionary tale. Like, if you are the kind of person that suppresses all the goodness in you, the light in you, the voice of God, the light of conscience, Jiminy Cricket, whatever you want to call it. The New Testament calls it suppressing the truth and unrighteousness, where you suppress the truth and embrace darkness because you want to do a certain action or you want to live a certain way. You can get to the point where you do that so much that your mind becomes enveloped with darkness. As Romans 1 says, God gave them over to a depraved mind to do the things which ought not to be done. And, you know, when God, especially now,
I feel like a lot of us have seen examples of that. Like, if you think
100%.
about all the people you've known, I think you can probably locate somebody that you're like, yo, that person went too far now. Look at them. They literally went to look at them.
Yeah, and there's and you know, and everybody knows in the inner city. In the inner city, everybody knows the story. Like, there's been, you know, like if I'd have went, you know.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to get over that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Much less like to live that way and live in that kind of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if you do that enough to where you're constantly suppressing light and embracing darkness, you can get to the point where you essentialize yourself as a dark person, where you're basically dark, and you make mistakes and do good things, you know, by accident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when I talk about original sin, I do not mean that everybody is like completely dark and you accidentally do good things.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But there are people.
Philip, you can. I agree.
There are people who essentialize themselves into darkness.
Yep.
And it's like, what do you think is going on with a serial killer? What do you think is going on with these people who make a career out of sexually assaulting women? And you can tell, you know, and I have a family member who,
a lot of times they ingest a lot of darkness before they do that
100%,
action.
and you can tell they hate women, and you can tell that they fear women as well. Mm-hmm. They fear feminine power. And so I'm going to do this thing to even the scales and all this other shit. Like it's a real spiral of complexity of just horrifying evil. And so, like,
yeah,
I would caution against that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that shit will bring you down to roads where you stand. Yeah, I was talking to a really close friend of mine, and we were looking at somebody who has gone down that path, and she said, well, you know, who am I to judge this person, yada, yada, yada. I don't know the circumstances, yada, yada, yada. And it was about a particular sin that I have no tolerance for. And I initially was offended, and then God was like, she's 100% right. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what, do you think that if I didn't restrain you that you're better than? And it's like, I'm grateful to God that he, you know, some things I'm like, yo, why'd you let me do that or whatever. But as far as like, he's never let me just walk down, you know.
Oh, I know. I know.
Because I struggle enough as it is with violent ideation and things of that nature, or, let's use violence to solve this problem or whatever. Yeah. And it could have been, you know, it could have been a lot worse, but yeah. So I take the song as a cautionary tale. It's not an instruction manual. It's not saying, you know, yes, be this horrible and evil. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I'm not taking it that way. I'm taking it as more of a precautionary tale, and something that all of us would do well to listen to. Because I think there's a big difference, to Sean's point, there's a big difference between doing dumb shit or just being generally selfish. There's a big difference between that and purposefully.
Yeah. Like he did in the song, like it was on purpose. He made that decision. Here's an interesting verse. I really like proverbs. I like quotes. I like proverbs. I like something short that has like a lot of meaning. I actually think I like the concept of it, that you can pack so much into something so small. Like, how big can you pack into how small?
Right. Yep.
Because we know you can pack you can pack a small into something big. We've seen people do it all the time. All this talking, and you're like, okay, let's just pick out there the couple things. That's all we needed.
Right.
Like the Opeth song. Okay.
There's this one guy that was saying, Sawyer liked the song, but Vin convinced her.
Why does
he poisoned her mind?
I find that so offensive when people say that. It literally gets said to me all the time. I disagree with Vin when I want to disagree with Vin.
It's low-key misogynistic.
It really is. It's
but,
ridiculous.
You know, it is what it is.
But if I would have liked the song like you, then you would have said I was thinking for myself.
Well, I wasn't able to convince you to not give the Beatles a 3.5.
But that gets disregard that.
I'm pretty sure that happened in the same fucking night.
It did. It did. It did. Anyway, so let's get back to the proverb. Okay, so it says, the eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? That's a crazy, crazy verse. And I think that kind of, we talked before about, the things that you take in, it's going to have an effect on who you are as a person. And so, I was just talking to somebody about the importance of being an avid reader, reading things and learning concepts and things beyond outside of yourself. So I'd encourage everybody to pick up a book and start reading. Do something healthy instead of making poor decisions. But anyway, that idea, if then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? That is like literally terrifying. Yeah. I've read that verse a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I think like this last phase of like I was talking to you guys about before, where I was like making unhealthy decisions with my mental health. And since I've been making healthy decisions with my mental health, I'm like, okay, that's true. If you're dark inside, like everything is fucking fucked up. You're just like a mess. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the next verse is cool too. I'm just going to throw this one out there, but we can go back to the song. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. Then you can't serve both God and money. So interesting because that message earlier from that person, but carry on.
Which person?
Remember that Facebook thing that I was in? And I was saying universal health care is so important. That's what we need.
Yeah. Fuck those
sick people. Leave it to the Christians to say, you better go find out what's going to do with your finances.
All right. So this is a battle of the bands. What do you got? Who do you give the nod to?
Okay, I'm going with the Dawn.
The first band.
No, I'm sorry.
That's Woe.
I'm so sorry. I'm going with Woe.
You're going with Woe.
I'm going with Woe.
You're going with Woe.
I am. Yes. Shout out to the US.
Over the original band.
Yes, because I kind of liked that. I thought it was a little bit like meh at the beginning, and then it just kept getting better and better and better. So yeah, it's yeah. I'm going. Right, I'm gonna. They win. Woe wins.
Rate the song.
So, I think "Knell in the World," the "Knell in the World" by the Dawn. I'm gonna give them an 8.2, and then I'm gonna give Woe 8.9.
Okay, black metal is my favorite genre, and this is probably my favorite subgenre in black metal. I don't know if it's melodic black metal. I don't know what kind of black metal it is, but this is my favorite subgenre within black metal. Probably metal overall. Probably music overall. I like the vocal style of the second one so much better than the first one. But here's my thing. I think it's melodic black metal. Aladdin, I never pronounced that word properly, but Aladdin said,
"Oh, that's true." Kel says you gotta factor in that the original band wrote the song, and the other ones didn't. So the lyrical content and that stuff goes to them. Oh, you don't even.
I don't really factor that into the cover because I'm listening to I'm listening at sonically what's going on. Mm-hmm. But Aladdin said something, and I think it solidified it for me. Because the song was so close to the original, you have to get... Okay, well, then this is where what Kellendross is saying, because when he says wrote the song, it's not just the lyrics. They wrote the song.
Yeah.
They wrote everything. So every note, every guitar, every drum, whatever, Woe's version was recorded 22 years later.
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah.
And, you know, you've got superior technicians and all the rest of it, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so between what Kel said and what Aladdin said, I'm actually going to give it to Dawn. I'm going to give it to Dawn. It's Eldon. It's Eldon. Irish, not Arabic, but it's all good. Okay. So Eldon...
Aladdin.
I said Aladdin. Because in Arabic you pronounce like every whatever. But I think he's right. I think he's in Kel Johnson. I think that I've got to give it to Dawn because they were so they mimicked the song exactly and then just kind of remixed the vocal style and that drumming. And I think the second guy, the second drummer, whoever he was, I think he did a decent job. I think he did a really, really decent job. I think he did, you know, he wasn't bad, and he's a badass himself. And anybody who can play that song that way is a badass. But I'm sorry, there's a 22-year gap, and you don't sound that much better.
Yeah, I know.
And they came up with all that. I gotta lean. Okay, so 9.4.
What?
For Dawn. It's not. You're not a black metal fan. You don't even understand. I'm not gonna try to explain it to you. Okay.
Rude.
But of course I can get you to change your score anytime I please.
That's true.
Cause you're so weak-minded. You're so weak-minded. Sorry. Look at this. Look at this right here. Entire experience was a negative 7.8.
Oh, a negative. I was like, oh, 80 gave it a higher score than I expected, a 7.8. Okay, so you gave it a what? 9.7?
I gave it a 9.3, I think I said.
Okay, 9.3. All right, and then I think you maybe said 9.4. I'm not sure. Okay, so then what about the other one? What about Woe?
Woe is going to get a solid 8.8.
Okay, I thought it was going to be 8.7.
Woe did a solid 8. Woe was badass. They were really, really good. There just wasn't enough variation for me. I definitely like that the production was way higher quality, you could tell. And the I love the vocal style a lot better. It's much more difficult to judge this one than the first two for me. The first two was simple. Yeah. Like literally 2 minutes into the second one, I said, "Oh, okay, this is over." It was over. But this one was very, very difficult. And like I said, Woe almost, if there would have been a little bit more sonical musical variation, it would have been a lot tougher. It probably would have switched because they were really, really, really close.
Yeah, if you would have traded the drummers. Because the drummer from the first one was better than the drummer from the second one.
Yeah.
And so if they would have had the superior drummer, then it would have been...
I was just very, very biased toward that drummer coming into the second song. Woe had a lot to overcome with me.
Yeah.
They had a lot to overcome, and I think they did. And I think the only thing that's really, I'm just looking at technicalities. The only thing I could say is that there wasn't enough variation to justify putting them over the original band. And I'm even more impressed that there was a 22 years. There was a 22-year.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Gap, and
yeah,
and they were right there.
Neil, I think you're right about your assessment.
Yeah. So, this was really, really fun, guys. This was really, really,
hopefully
really,
you guys
really
do
fun.
this again.
But, hopefully we have these. Hopefully
you're the boss, not us.
Huh?
They're the boss, not us. So whatever.
Yeah,
we wouldn't like it if you did it. But, you know.
But it's Gotham is yours.
It's your alliance.
Gotham is yours.
Do what you want.
Do what you will with it.
To be fair, black metal talks about Jesus more than most Christians. Fair enough.
All right.
All right, you guys. Thank you.
There you are, dear listener.
It was wonderful.
Thank you for it was really, really cool. I really, really enjoyed this.
Yeah, that was a fun little adventure during our night.
Yeah.
There's many more.
We have more adventures?
We do.
Excellent. I love yum.
I love you too.
All right, there you are, dear listener.
Have a good night.
Having said that, dear listener, shout out to Johnny Melancholy. Having said that, dear listener, hold on. I think we'll do this again. So maybe we can convince A99 and TK to get in on next time. Inshallah, inshallah.
Yeah.
I thought you said 4 songs. It's only been 2.
No, that was 4 songs. We did a original, a cover, original, cover.
Exactly. All right. Having said that, dear listener, it's peace and love. Daniel, not peace and love. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.